Anton, allow me to guide you through this experience right from the very beginning, starting here where everything you see has been meticulously set up and is proudly presented by Microsoft. As we look around, you'll notice a bustling coffee machine, drawing a remarkably long and eager line of attendees. The rich aroma and the promise of a refreshing beverage have truly captured everyone's attention, sparking their curiosity and creating a lively buzz. And then, over here, distinctly separated on this side, you'll find the dedicated area for the press, where journalists and media representatives are gathered, diligently covering the event and capturing all the important moments. It appears there might be a collection of truly fascinating and intellectually stimulating books originating from this particular publishing house. However, it's crucial to note that this isn't just any ordinary publisher. It is specifically the Microsoft Publishing House, which carries a certain weight and implication regarding the types of content they produce and the audience they cater to. Despite this specific affiliation, they still manage to occupy and maintain a remarkably expansive and considerably large area within this venue, suggesting a significant presence and perhaps a wide array of offerings. Consequently, due to their prominent display and the sheer volume of their space, there is a noticeable and substantial gathering of individuals, a considerable crowd of people, actively exploring, browsing, and engaging with the materials presented in this extensive section. Right now there's a huge buzz. It's literally been just an hour since the exhibition opened. And there are absolutely so many incredible people. There's a bit of a buzz. There's a buzz. It's only been an hour since the exhibition opened. So many people. Once it calms down, I'll get everything done and record it best. It's not entirely clear what exactly is transpiring here in this bustling environment. And indeed, there are numerous agents present. There's also a significant amount of merchandise available. You can clearly observe that people are actively chasing after this desirable merchandise. So this entire event, as I understand it, is being hosted by Shopify. They are currently holding some kind of important presentation right here, right now. Now, let's consider here too, it's still all about the merch. A company related to trading. By the way, when it comes to trading, there's a lot being showcased here. So as I understand it, this is already related to trading. A company connected to trading. By the way, when it comes to trading, there's a lot being showcased here, and they're quite popular in the trading space. Here they are indeed getting themselves ready for a very serious and important shoot. As far as I can accurately tell, it's something quite significant to do with the process of hiring new personnel. By the way, Anton, could you please give me some valuable feedback, perhaps your thoughts on this matter? It's definitely better to shoot at 0.5 magnification, that way it captures a much wider field of view and includes more of the surrounding environment. This is because at 0.1 magnification, even though I'm physically standing quite a distance away from the subject, the camera's zoom makes everything appear incredibly close and tightly framed, often cutting out important context. Therefore, considering shooting at 0.5 is not just an option, but a highly recommended approach. You will clearly be able to see a significantly greater area and more details within the scene when using this setting. Alright, with that understanding, let's now move on to discuss the next segment, which is about the little program. Do you mean the specific area we are currently observing? This particular section goes up, indicating an upward movement or elevation. Okay, this device here is clearly a translator, designed to convert languages or signals. Indeed, this is definitely a translator, performing its function of interpretation. All right, and this liquid substance in front of us is unmistakably broth, a flavorful and savory liquid typically used in cooking. Oh, look at these absolutely adorable and charming girls, everyone. We are now gracefully and smoothly moving onward to the next exciting segment. This, my dear friends, is none other than the incredibly advanced and highly realistic light bill simulations designed to provide an immersive experience. Right here, you can clearly see they even have elaborate stands meticulously set up, ready for various purposes. I was at the NVIDIA conference, GTC, I think. We were at the festive evening events. There is no art. It looks like they already have quite a lot of customers buying. Now, at this very moment, the highly anticipated and professional salesperson is gracefully approaching us, making their way over to our position. To ensure optimal clarity and a better view of the situation, let's carefully and smoothly adjust our perspective, moving ourselves a bit lower, just like this, to capture every important detail of this interaction as it unfolds before our eyes. By the way, over here, at the same time on the other side, I walked around it. So over there we had print media. This is a magazine, Uber Publications, which are consistently something very modestly presented by the highly regarded and esteemed computer agency Production, have consistently garnered significant attention and widespread recognition within their respective fields, showcasing their impactful contributions. This is Sonic Jobs. That was our delicious lunch, but it was just sitting there, completely untouched, and everything was slowly going bad like that, unfortunately. Moving on. This is Deep Genomics, a company. They work with specifically genetics, medicine. There are a considerable number of people here, as you can see. So what they represent. An interview, they're giving out hoodies, so that's why there's a line, by the way, but that's a separate topic. I'll tell you, there are really a significant number of individuals here who actively pursue and go after the highly sought after branded merchandise, eagerly grabbing it up with enthusiasm. But then a moment of hesitation. Abaca and also QI were present. These are the ones that are a bit more modest. Astros. Let's just cover this whole row. Of course, it's quite challenging and indeed difficult to fully understand much about them without direct interaction. You really need to engage in a personal conversation and talk to them directly to grasp their perspectives and offerings. This particular presentation is clearly Lenovo being prominently and effectively represented here today. Here. Apparently there's also a line here for the bags. And basically, as for these relatively small tables, that's absolutely all there is to it. Now over here, the truly remarkable Groq is prominently represented, which is much, much more profoundly interesting and captivating. Let's take a comprehensive look at it right now, shall we? They have a really cool stand like this one, and here it's all about Minecraft. Specifically via hiring. Let's carefully take this particular example and consider it thoroughly. Nickname. You really need to carefully approach under cats. So the impressive light wheel was indeed here, and I just passed by this very spot, so let's definitely move on to the next exciting part. Next up, of course, is Google's presentation, and it's truly on a grand and expansive scale. This is already the second significant row of their display, showcasing their latest innovations. Here people are standing, doing something, reading quietly, looking out attentively for someone patiently. Here everyone is diligently reading about the various opportunities available for students. That's precisely why everyone is keenly interested in DENS. Those specific items that will be clearly shown, we will then take a closer look at later. This is also Google. Here they're actively grabbing merch. There's a very long line, a lot of people, which is understandable. Later on, the initial hype will eventually die down and there will be significantly fewer people present. So, as I understand it, this is a demo being presented. I just burst into the demo. There's a guy over there. People are wearing headphones. Well, over there you can take headphones. Then people put on headphones, listen like that gentleman. And he meticulously shows and thoroughly explains the intricate demonstration, providing a comprehensive overview. Well, of course, this was probably the biggest exhibition right now, but in fact, further on, there's really nothing much. Let's move on. Now let us move on to the next one, which is Revelo. So here they're showing that we help LLMs fight better cold. All right. Not much is clear. You can see they have some interesting idea for what's this? A lottery drum, bingo. All right, let's move on. Well, next up is this institute being presented here. Very interesting. These are giant Rubik's Cubes. Not Rubik's Cubes, but more like dice. They throw them and win something. It's actually really funny, but honestly very inconvenient. When people picked them up, the passage here was basically completely blocked. That's how it happens. But the idea is very interesting. Alright, so the fundamental idea is quite clear overall. So here is this particular thing that we are discussing.
Here at this impressive university, everything, and I mean absolutely everything, is meticulously built around effective communication. There are numerous people standing around, dedicated representatives, large, vibrant screens, and clear, informative monitors. They are all standing and actively talking. engaging in meaningful discussions. Okay, let's thoughtfully move on to the next exciting topic. Next up on our agenda is Databricks. Yes, Databricks. By the way, there is a significant amount of prominent advertising for Databricks prominently displayed throughout the bustling city of San Francisco. We'll also go up to everyone. Here, well, it's all very modest and quite unassuming. People are actively meeting, engaging in lively chats, and enthusiastically taking numerous photos. We'll also make our way up and personally talk to everyone present. Everyone's actively hiring, absolutely everyone's hiring. Okay, moving on now. This next exciting thing is Virtu. As I previously mentioned, there are a significant number of companies actively involved in the dynamic world of trading, and that's precisely what is being prominently showcased here today. In fact, there are specialized microchips that have been meticulously designed and optimized specifically for the demanding requirements of high-frequency trading operations. Anton, just take a look. Those charming young ladies over there are already enthusiastically saying hello and waving to you with genuine warmth.
Here, further on, this is also trading. In short, everything here revolves around trading. Here as well, physical AI, liquid AI, design, tokens, efficiency. Anyway, we'll chat. Qualcomm. Next up are the presentations. By the way, pay attention again. Right now I'm filming on this 0.5. Is 0.5 better or this one? This is on 1x zoom. So here it turns out I'm bumping into the back of my head. Probably 0.5 is still better. Yeah, Qualcomm. It's almost like virtual reality or augmented reality already. So this is their booth. Here's Qualcomm AI research. So trading again.
In actual fact, you can't really discern any significant information here at all. You can only truly perceive people. For the very first time in many, many hours, I distinctly saw some Russian speakers. This particular individual from the city of Taiva.
Next up is Sony PlayStation. And that's basically it. There really isn't that much else here. Then there's Amazon. Amazon has a lot of stuff.
A lot of many different types of merch. A lot of people. Everyone wants
a lot of merch. A lot of people. Everyone either wants a job or merch. Can build future Vitas. By the way, these beads are pretty cool. Okay, that's the backside.
That's basically it for our initial overview. Moving on to the next crucial segment of our presentation. This is scale, a truly innovative and comprehensive concept that we are about to thoroughly explore and understand in much greater detail. Now, we will meticulously figure out precisely what that entails, delving into its core functionalities and potential applications. What exactly is scale, and how does it operate within our framework? Anton, if you would be so kind, please provide me with your immediate and comprehensive feedback regarding the current sound quality and overall audio experience. Your insights are invaluable as we proceed. How is everything sounding from your perspective? Can you hear me clearly at the moment? I'm wondering if it would be beneficial for me to activate the audio noise cancellation feature to improve the sound quality for everyone listening. Please let me know if there's any interference. Now, let's smoothly transition and move on to our next point of interest. Next up on our tour, we have the impressive Google campus. We actually had a brief glimpse of it earlier during our walk, but now we're getting a closer look. There's a fascinating and engaging demonstration currently taking place right here in this very spot. By the way, from what I can observe, it genuinely looks incredibly cool and innovative, capturing everyone's attention with its cutting-edge presentation. This particular demonstration right here, I honestly haven't encountered anything quite like it at any of the numerous other booths I've visited so far today. People are truly gathering around this fascinating display, and it's genuinely quite interesting to observe. JetBrains, well, I think this is precisely where I absolutely need to grab a refreshing coffee, as there's truly nowhere else suitable for that purpose. As for the esteemed company JetBrains itself, I don't believe there's really much more to explicitly say. It's abundantly obvious that they are indeed prominently here and making their presence known. There are several truly interesting and engaging demonstrations available here. One notable exhibit, something called ClickChat, is prominently set up, and it appears to be a fascinating communication platform. Then there's the distinguished presence of JetBrains Research right here, showcasing their innovative work, and immediately adjacent to that is the booth for ByteDance, a significant global technology company. It's quite noticeable that there are a considerable number of young women and girls actively standing around this particular area, observing the exhibits and engaging with the event. They're talking about something. I can really see some interesting opportunities here. They're talking about something. I can really see some interesting opportunities to chat and have a conversation here. Okay, this one's not for us. We are currently witnessing a profound and impactful renaissance of philanthropy, a renewed commitment to giving back and fostering positive change throughout the world. This dynamic movement promises a truly bright and prosperous future, driven by the relentless advancements in cutting-edge science, innovative technology, and groundbreaking innovation. Their meticulously crafted booth boasts an exceptionally interesting, visually appealing, and remarkably bright design. And here, thoughtfully nestled within this impressive display, is a uniquely arranged corner. This is what their booth looks like. ADIA, Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. And here is some interesting merch. A lot of people are interested in the merch. There are a lot of interested guys standing around. Okay, so I'll make this the first part. This will be a separate section. Now I'll send the second one, or rather, I'll start recording the second one now.
So this is indeed the second part of our little journey. Right now I've carefully turned on the noise cancellation feature on the microphone. And now I'll probably switch it back to a 0.5 setting just for comparison. The last video segment actually ended at that particular stand over there, as you might recall. Now on to the very next interesting item. Oh look, guitar picks. That's a really cool and engaging topic to discuss. These small essential items are specifically designed for playing the guitar with precision and clarity. And here's a protective case for them, which is quite convenient. For headphones, truly pretty cool and exceptionally unique merchandise, something quite unusual and remarkably distinctive. So this, my friends, is what we call the Magnificent Sound Portal, an extraordinary gateway to auditory experiences. You can already clearly observe a substantial and bustling crowd gathered here. Indeed, there are so many eager and curious people present. Now, our primary objective is to meticulously figure out and thoroughly investigate if all of this entire captivating spectacle is genuinely real and authentic, or merely an elaborate illusion. It appears as though something has become firmly lodged or obstructive in this particular location. I am trying to ascertain the precise nature of this impediment. What exactly is the core subject or central theme that the situation revolves around? Could you please provide more specific details regarding the identity of this organization or corporation? Furthermore, I am curious to understand which other entities or individuals they have established collaborative relationships with, particularly concerning the distribution or use of their shaker products or related merchandise. I need a comprehensive overview of these partnerships and the overall context of this unexpected development. Next up, we have G Research, a prominent participant here today. Order of the first. Order. We're just diligently making coffee. Basically, this entire coffee setup, this wonderful coffee thing, is proving to be an absolute hit. At the very least, it consistently draws a significant number of people in, attracting quite a crowd. And indeed, there are a lot of enthusiastic people with really big, long lines continuously forming there. But still, yes, there are a great many attendees. Here as well, we are enjoying more coffee, perhaps a rich, aromatic blend that invigorates the senses and fuels our discussions. And then there's the company Turin. How do you pronounce it correctly, I wonder? Is it Turin or Turin? Which has provided an incredibly comprehensive and meticulously curated data set. This data set is instrumental for our research into advanced reinforcement learning techniques, a cutting-edge field of artificial intelligence where agents learn optimal behaviors through trial and error in dynamic environments, constantly refining their strategies to achieve specific goals. Also, we are observing active trading, indeed very active trading, showcasing some truly nice-looking and visually appealing charts. This particular display is a classic ticker tape chart, a traditional and reliable format, and what we are seeing here is a remarkably solid one, a truly impressive record of transactions. It genuinely appears as though some strategic and deliberate games are being played out right before our eyes in this market. Next, also about trading. A substantial amount, indeed, a very significant volume of trading activity is occurring. It appears there's considerable financial gain to be made in this endeavor, which definitely warrants further investigation and careful consideration. Specifically, I need to examine the involvement and contributions of Yuri, Osi, Sigma, and Oren, as these individuals are clearly associated with or responsible for these operations, making them particularly relevant to my inquiry. Also, there's a really extensive collection of merchandise available. It's called Patlogia. This is all in anticipation of the promise that has been made. Anyway, we will definitely have a conversation with them. In fact, we will make sure to speak with everyone involved. Well, let's patiently wait and see exactly what interesting details we manage to uncover, what fascinating information we ultimately discover. It truly is a very intriguing and unique name, isn't it? Interesting name, but yeah, you could remove something. And Atlassian, right, for this scale, they're represented pretty modestly. We'll ask them how they use Jira.
And this is Apple, very minimal. So no Jobs, no Wozniak, no Scully. There are only people you can talk to. And that's exactly what we need. That's basically it, honestly, for...
Wow, just absolutely incredible. What an extraordinary and truly remarkable cluster they have managed to put together here. It's genuinely impressive, a testament to their capabilities and vision. Let's delve deeper and find out more about this fascinating development. Could it be IBM? Yes, indeed it appears to be IBM, the renowned technology giant IBM. This is truly something to behold, a significant achievement from IBM.
Next, now this is a truly really interesting and very striking exhibition. And it's also profoundly about the fascinating concept of trading. So here it is. I observed that many people here enthusiastically picked up a significant amount of this wonderful merchandise. Indeed, there's a truly vast ton of amazing merch available here for everyone to enjoy. And people were choosing it, grabbing it, collecting it. There you go. It really draws you in. It's very eye-catching and it's quite engaging, but this is also importantly about the act of trading.
Also trading next is something like the farm.
Okay, but this is the identical old tired heaven and hell, something vaguely familiar yet indistinct in the back. Absolutely nothing more compelling or engaging, truly nothing at all to capture one's attention. More extensive research, of course, a delicious cup of coffee naturally, and a dedicated line specifically for coffee. Drug discovery. It's interesting, really interesting, how they use it in medicine. It's just gonna be wonderful. So as I leisurely walked around this captivating and somewhat ethereal heaven-themed exhibit, I observed that its primary purpose seemed to be the enthusiastic selling of discovery. It was quite intriguing. However, upon closer inspection, I clearly noticed that the prominent Capital One exhibit, which I had anticipated seeing, was conspicuously absent from the display, or at least it wasn't adequately covered or highlighted within this particular section. This entire area, despite that oversight, was genuinely fascinating. It possessed a wonderfully pleasant and inviting scent, a distinct and rather delightful aroma that permeated the air, making the experience even more enjoyable and memorable. No, but here's Meta. You could truly contend with them about why the new innovative Meta display glasses are only available for demo. So Meta, the company, Meta Careers, the official platform. So they're also standing right there with their headphones on, and they will have this impressive demonstration too. But mainly, of course, their fantastic new products are prominently on display. There's a really big, long line here. As they try it out. We'll get there too eventually. XTX Markets most likely is also about trading again. It's really poorly done that you can't read this. It wasn't thought through. It looks a bit stylish, but not very well thought out. The Academia of Life Finance, yes, it's also about finance and also about trading.
we're here in this row. We haven't covered Salesforce. There they are standing, showing what they have. By the way, I had the same idea. I actually looked today at who is represented here. So I'll be able to prepare better for these interview questions, talk directly with Perplexity, find out more so that he doesn't just... He gave me more information about the products, about some things in general, kind of brought me up to speed a bit. Next up, we have the prominent company NVIDIA here, and of course there's a considerable amount of excitement, a significant ton of enthusiastic people, and a great deal going on at this event. Although for now, you can't really see what's being showcased here. I saw a big box, they brought something in, looks like there will be some kind of demonstration, but for now, everyone's all just talking. Very obviously, everyone truly and eagerly wants to get in here again. He's currently signing up for something, most probably for the exciting and informative demo. And here someone else is filming too. So, and the very last interesting booth in this particular row, this is indeed the OpenAI. Open level of the foundation. So what do they have here? We decided that this is non-stop. Yeah, obviously it's really for those who are already in the know. Those who know, but at first glance, when you see the company for the first time, it's not clear what they actually do. All right, we've thoroughly covered all of this essential information, but that's probably only about a third of the complete picture. Now, in the very next video, I will meticulously record the subsequent and crucial part. So this is the third video. I realized that because of the noise, it might be very hard to hear, so this is just kind of like a test. I'll keep the microphone as close to my mouth as possible. Now next up we have a truly interesting and quite remarkable booth from Llama, and there are currently a great many people gathered around their display. Standing around talking. Oh wait, no, this is already part of something else. Alright, it's divided up in an interesting way, so back to Llama. It's beautiful, stylish, lots of merch, lots of good looking people, Snapdragon. So this is Windows laptops. Alright, moving on now. Eugen and I were going to take a much closer and more detailed look at everything. There's also a really significant and quite extensive line here for the entire world to see. Whether it's for incredible features or for advanced capabilities and for truly impressive video generation, not just video but also stunning images. So now we've already exchanged meaningful glances with the very interesting guy, and we'll definitely talk to him a bit more, which is great. So let's keep moving forward. Here we have some significant news from Tesla, or not exactly Tesla, but rather from Bloomberg, specifically Bloomberg, which is quite important. Yeah, interesting here. It clearly says presented, and this truly looks incredibly impressive. These sophisticated screens appear very solid, exceptionally scientific too. Here, there's also some trading involved, but I think trading is just one of the directions here since there are all these charts and everything. Analytics, a nice looking booth, it's presented in a cool way, and right next to them, Tesla is showcased as well. Here's Tesla. Of course, the self-driving feature is on display, but unfortunately Musk isn't here. And Karpathy isn't here either. Oh, sorry, sir. So, I got kicked out. I went in a bit too far, but it's fine. All right. I get it. Because right here, the robot is on display. And I just barged in like that. Yeah, I kind of barged into a slightly restricted area. Well, it does look pretty cool, of course. Let's move on. Let's move on. Next up here, we have the distinguished gentleman in the vibrant pink t-shirts. That's Emmi and Artifact, and also the brilliant team from Genes for Engineers. Okay, this is a truly beautiful and quite impressive simulation to behold. I can imagine how noisy it is here. There are just so many people, they're really loud, and overall I can imagine it's extremely loud. So I'm trying to keep the microphone closer to my mouth so you can hear me better. And these bags here, they really caused a sensation. I saw just how excited people were to grab these bags. This is also a company that does trading. Here's a robot diligently making coffee, which is truly interesting. And of course, there's a long line of eager people. Here's the prominent booth of jump trading, and here are those distinctive bags again. You can see many people walking around with them. It's a really good piece of merch. It's truly interesting, really quite fascinating. Honestly, I am very genuinely surprised that there are so many diverse trading companies present here, which is quite remarkable. It's not really clear what they're doing here. It's not really clear what they're doing here, but there are people. We'll talk to them, that's all. We'll find out. So next up on our exciting schedule is Poolside, and their impressive booth is quite large and expansive. They also have a dedicated space. With Chupa Chups. Yeah, it's definitely amusing how people are grabbing lunch and eating right here, but what can you do? You have to eat. I want to pool the site, so the next one, it's clear that it's Netflix. Lots and lots of things, lots of people, a lot of noise. That's how everyone hires. So the next big one is here. Soskven Hannah. I don't know how to produce it correctly. To say that the word is a complex word is not very humane for newbies, but it is clear that there are demonstrations here too. Headphones. The notebooks are very interesting. So a big screen. A big screen apparently, because again, I see graphs, so machine learning, yes, there it is, closer up. Excellent. Bags. By the way, you can actually collect a lot of merch here. It's interesting to think about what to do with it. I don't know, but I can send it all to you. Or maybe give it away later or do something else with it. But in general, there's really a lot here. But every company has merch and you can take a lot of it. So all these charming little ones, they enthusiastically greet you. These delightful small creatures, not truly diminutive in size, but certainly, when compared to many others, they are quite modest in their stature, possessing rather unassuming and not at all very loud names, which is quite endearing. By the way, over there about immigration in weeks, not months, very interesting. So the next booth is
cheaper floor. A big booth. Let's find out what it's about. In SIK, it truly shines brightly, and we will certainly find out for you too, Liam. Yes, but this is a big company, a very prominent name. Here, you can really discuss a lot, you can learn a lot of things. We'll do all of that indeed. So right now I can't remember if I already mentioned this company. I think it was Poolside. Yes, I did mention it. Site. And so Snowflake is a really interesting company, guys. I saw that they have a lot of educational materials as well, if they don't make them themselves, so we'll talk about that. General Motors is well represented here, which I think is very interesting. We'll be able to ask questions, especially considering that Tesla is also here. So it's a great opportunity to compare them. Corvette, of course, is very interesting, really. So there will be plenty to compare and discuss. Next up is Invisible. Right there on the video box. It's really interesting. This is probably the application of artificial intelligence in farming. Very, very cool. Really cool. All right, moving on. BioHub, a company. BioHub company. There's a lot going on here. I can already picture how we could make those kinds of video clips, like recording an interview with someone. But it'll need a bit of editing. But if it's all good, I can do the editing in the evenings and release it. Like these full-length videos. But that's also concerning the study of biology. So, next up is Waymo, but there aren't any cars here to show, but everyone already knows about it. It's already being launched and you can discuss it anywhere, as well as General Motors and so on. HRT, the next booth. Here, Here, it's presented as a rather tall and somewhat imposing booth, but unfortunately, it's not very informative or insightful, offering little in the way of useful details. And then we have the concept of trading. Again, the continuous and repetitive act of trading is mentioned. Next, we have Oracle. Well, let's see what they truly have to offer now. An interesting Oracle. Pretty interesting and cool. A significantly large and influential company, especially considering their substantial investments in OpenAI and other similar advanced technologies. It'll be quite interesting to engage in a detailed discussion with them. Moving on to the topic of the Torch Foundation. There's not much significant activity going on, and it seems nobody is particularly eager to engage in discussions with them. Only one guy came up to them. The Cloud Native Computing Foundation, in its current state, isn't really all that widely popular either. Not much excitement around Cohere Labs. So here. Is an NVIDIA partner. Overall, not very informative, but it's there. So, Lambda and the Schoen Company, a well-known organization. We've already covered that. Now I'm going to the next row. Yes, but I think I covered the last video completely as well. All of this from that wall to here, right up to this row. And here, there's even this version. If at first the stands were just simple, like Odessa lie, then these stands look much more interesting. And moreover, I even see that Spotify is represented here. So NTT Toloko. This is interesting. I think this is a Ukrainian word. So Basan AI, then the first source, Data Ocean Dai. Prunapatai, similar. So I'll now go over all these little ones that Ionet, Meter, Spock Bioscience is a leading. Furiosa, Mets, Icegram. So there's absolutely no one currently here, and right here is the model. And the guy is really, really colorful. Next version. Here, by the way, people are just sitting comfortably, chatting pleasantly, eating delicious food, and some individuals are performing live. So the excellent service at the esteemed dean of Flow Trader, actively trading once again. Trading actively again, once more, Wave, the platform. It's interesting that they're also about, excuse me. So, Thomson Reuters, Spotify centric. But for now, there's no one here. Spotify, very interesting. And not West Group. These adorable little ones right here, they truly have a very special and dedicated area thoughtfully set aside exclusively just for them, which is indeed quite fascinating and genuinely interesting to observe. So, and further on, this is farther from those little booths over there. Let's keep going. Lightly. Something over there. Not very clear. Celebras, truly state-of-the-art, cutting-edge and innovative technology. All right, we'll talk to everyone, but... Oh, look, Upwork. Interesting. RBC, the truly brainless. Figma is a powerful design tool for UI design. So, what else is actually here in this particular place? AI first manufacturing. Oh, look at that. That friendly individual is saying hello to you as well. MathWorks, they are quite generous and frequently give out various merchandise items. They also give out merch. In short, everything is about merch. Cortesia. Joint quantization for efficient model deployment. Intel, a very modest and unassuming stand, simple yet effective. It truly embodies a minimalist approach. This is indeed very, very modest. This comes from TELUS Digital, a leading company. So, and you see what I mean? Let's move on to the next topic. All right, let's now carefully move on to the next important topic. So Genesis, a leading molecular AI company also in biotech, specifically Novartis, is involved. Voltage Park, a cutting-edge facility, is dedicated to ensuring comprehensive compute compliance, meticulously adhering to all necessary regulatory standards and operational protocols. LLMs were just step one. It will be interesting to discuss this with them. Distill Systems is designed to build robust and efficient systems. This is powered by RunPod, providing powerful and scalable computing resources. Datadog, the monitoring platform. Quashno. No, Quasho. It's an interesting idea, of course. It doesn't sound very nice, but it exists. Myla. The next ones are here. Timmel Group. There are a lot of them in Chinese, even this one. They will find many of them here. BlackRock. Wow. Systematic. If it's the BlackRock they're talking about or the one I'm thinking of, that's really powerful. It's a bank. So this is the field of investment management, a crucial financial discipline. And right here is Wells Fargo, a prominent financial institution. Again, I, as a relatively small player in this vast financial landscape, have covered Wells Fargo. This is quite interesting to observe and consider. Okay, let's move on from this particular point and delve into the next aspect. Let's proceed. Excuse me for a moment, but it's genuinely not very clear what exactly is transpiring here in this specific context. The situation appears rather ambiguous and lacks definitive details. Nevertheless, the game is on and the stakes are high. ARM, which likely refers to Advanced Risk Machines, a prominent semiconductor intellectual property provider. Okay. Or ARM. Well, you see a specialized keyboard made for the Dendy console. Toys are quite nice, of course, but the reality is, next up is Intuit. Intuit. And I strongly suspect that based on all available information and my current understanding, yes, that is indeed the case. Yes. I suspect that the very last booth at this entire exhibition is this one here, Encord. A comprehensive and robust multimodal data layer for innovative and powerful AI. Truly excellent, a truly remarkable achievement. All right. Well, what can I say? That's basically it. That's the whole exhibition. It was really useful for me to walk through it just now. Now I'll share my thoughts. I'll upload everything and share my thoughts.